Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I'm your host, Christian, and I'm joined by one of my co-hosts, Devin. How are you doing today, man?
What a day.
Ooh, what a day indeed, Devin. What a day indeed.
National Superhero Day.
Yeah.
The whole squad's here.
The gang's all here. The gang's all here. But yes, so today we are going to be covering the season finale of Invincible, episode 8, titled Where I Really Come From. If you haven't been following us on this journey, what have you been doing all your life? No, it's all right. But if you haven't been following this journey with us, we definitely implore you to go back and listen to our other podcast episodes leading up to this. If you are lagging a little bit behind, that is okay. That's what's so great about the week to week method, is that, someone could be a few weeks behind and easily catch up with the rest of the crowd, instead of trying to just binge an entire season and trying to get into the conversation as quickly as they possibly can. But yeah, it's like Devin said, as of today, as we are recording, it's National Superhero Day, which is on a Wednesday. But this will not be dropping until Friday at, I think, noon our time, noon central is when it will be dropping on our side. So we are going to be diving into full spoilers. But before we get into full spoilers, we are going to give our initial reactions for episode 8, titled, again, Where I Really Come From. Devin, we're just going to kick it off here. Initial reactions. What are you thinking about this fantastic episode that we just watched?
So when I first clicked play, I looked down at the runtime and I saw it was like 42, 43-ish minutes. And I was like a little worried. I was like, oh, that's not as long as I was expecting. But then as the episode's going on, there's just so much that happens and there's so much action going on. Like the time had to be like not too long, because it would have been like exhausting because so much happened.
Yeah.
And they packed so much into it. And it was like a continuous shot for like the first 20 minutes. It's just a continuous fight the entire time.
Oh man. I have to say, I didn't watch the I didn't pay attention to the time frame. I didn't know how long excuse me, I didn't know how long it was going to be. I just wanted to sit down and enjoy it. I've been working all day, came home, I was like, all right, let's get some food in my belly and let's get this thing started. I ate and everything prior. Like, all attention must be on this episode, and what an episode it was. It really just starts off the ground just running, literally leaves off exactly where last week's episode left us, we find out that, Mark kind of sees a more darker side of his father. He kills Immortal again. And, it's not like his father to, kill another human life. And, Mark
that's what he thinks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's definitely what he thinks. And we all knew there was something, and I had an inkling as to what was going on. I didn't watch any episodes on YouTube or whatever of heavy spoilers to prepare, but I really did want to know what Omniman's goal was, and just pretty much it seems like, we're not going to waste any time. This is the season finale. Let's get straight to it. We're not going to just beat around the bush. And I really like how it just throws you in, and we find out the real truth for Omni-Man, and we will get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, just the entire episode, it was, the highs, the lows, the amazing ending. It ended on a really high note. It wasn't somber, it wasn't depressing. It was, I think, exactly what
the perfect cliffhanger.
Yeah. And it comes full circle as well. Because it's we see a few characters that we haven't seen in a while. I'm trying my best, not to spoil it for people who kind of want to listen in on that, during the beginning front of it. But yeah, I mean everything with Mark's mom and with Amber and the rest of the cast. It really has just been like this entire season. I didn't know how this show was really going to end up. We knew it was coming out. We just knew it was like it was another animated superhero show, running alongside the Falcon and Winter Soldier. And it just, I mean, between Falcon and Invincible, I gotta say, I prefer this one way more. I love Marvel with all my heart, but this is a more original story. This is not DC or Marvel. This is its own thing. Like, obviously, it borrows from a lot of other superhero tropes, but we all know when it comes to superheroes and comic books, no idea is ever original. We see a lot of parodies and quote unquote copycats between DC and Marvel all the time. You got Deathstroke, you got Deadpool and what have you. So it's very Darkseid and Thanos and whatnot. But it has been such a great ride, and I'm ready for season 2, man. Like I need to go back and rewatch the entire thing now because it's just we still don't know what happened to Damien Darkblood. He's kind of he's not in this episode, but there's still a few trails that we can follow after this.
Yeah, there's no character left behind. Everyone is available.
Yeah, and we see a few characters towards the end of this episode where we haven't really seen in a while. We saw we'll get into that as well towards the spoiler side of this review. But yeah, it's just wow, dude. I just I was sitting there, I was at work, and Jacob was texting me. He's like, "Oh, he's like, did you watch it yet?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Dude," he's like, he's like, "You're not ready." He's like, "You're not ready." And I was like, I'm pretty much. I think I was ready. I was not. I was not ready, Devin. Let me tell you, the first 5 to 10 minutes, it's just pure fighting, and it's like, oh, they just. I like how they're.
It's like the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The first half.
Yeah. It really is a full first half. But, it's not like, oh, it's. They kind of built up to it, but it kind of just happens unexpectedly. It's not like they go, here's the big build up, and now they're about to, do the tango or whatever. It's just, it is what it is. And they throw you straight into it. And the cast has just been phenomenal. Like the entire cast is so stacked. I don't think I've ever seen a stacked cast like this in a while. Honest, like for a show that's of this caliber, it's like oh yeah.
That's the beauty of an animated show, is that you can get more actors like this together because it's not as much of a time commitment. They can do their voice lines and you can squeeze them in together easier. Like you wouldn't see this stacked of a cast in a live action show.
No. You got to pay them the big bucks then. Excuse me. Yeah, but yeah, man. So was there anything else you wanted to kind of touch on with the initial reactions before we get into spoilers? Just wanted to give our listeners a nice little heads up. We're trying to be as cordial about this as possible because there's just so much to talk about. And yeah.
we just gotta get into it. It's time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. We're about to get into our spoiler review. So you have been warned. So we're now in the spoiler section of our Invincible episode 8, titled "I Know Where I Really Where I Come From." Oh my gosh, Where I Really Come From. There we go. So spoilers, Devin. Viltrumites.
Some of those lines that Omniman shot out were just daggers through your soul.
It was hard to. It was literally like someone like you. I couldn't even explain it. It's just
I want to kind of temper expectations because the twist. I mean, it wasn't like crazy or insane. It's pretty much what you kind of had to expect was going to be the reveal.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off so well because the way you could see his character changing was amazing. Like you can tell he was just a different person.
it makes so much more sense now because we have seen everything. We now understand why Omni-Man or Nolan was so interested in his son. Oh, there goes Zip now. We now understand why Omni-Man was so interested in Mark getting his powers. Essentially,
when he said I had to make sure, and then Mark just like broke down. It's like, you had to make sure what? You were gonna kill me if I wasn't a Viltrumite?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh I mean,
because I guess the way that Nolan explains it, it may seem that not all of their offsprings can become, like, I'm not sure, the chances of, him becoming a Viltrumite. And Nolan explains that, even though he is a quote unquote half breed, like he is half Viltrumite, that Viltrumite
DNA is so powerful that it's full blood.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And that is something I was wondering early on this season, how does Mark's humanity, human side actually affect this? Not like who he is as a person, but his DNA. But it's crazy how strong their bloodline is. And it's like, wow. But
the next line that got me was when he called the mom a pet.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. I did love her, but just as a pet, my little Earth puppy dog.
Yeah, and so what we learn is, the Viltrumites, they are this proud, great, warrior race, but they are in the business of, they
just
are
the classic taking over.
Classic taking over. They say it in a nice way, saying, "Oh, humanity needs help. We can bring them into the future by weeding out the weak." And
very Thanos-like.
Yeah, but in a way, I mean, it was a little. Well, yeah, no, it was kind of the same because Thanos, his homeworld, well, they kind of. Well, did they willingly kill off their own kinds? Because with the Viltrumites, it was kind of like, they were weeding out the weak of their own and expanding their territory. But the more that the Viltrumites, expanded, the farther they reached, in different galaxies, the more they spread thin. So it's like, okay, you're going to be assigned to this planet. Like, it's classic, Superman. Well, Superman's a little different. With Dragon Ball Z, it actually has it echoes that a little bit because Goku was sent to Earth to take it over. But Goku's home planet is destroyed. We don't know if the Viltrumite home. No, it is destroyed, isn't it?
Well, I think the planet is still there. They just took out half the population to get to the strongest ones.
Okay, yeah, that's not, like I said, I do need to rewatch this again because I mean the explanation, of his plan came so early in the episode. Like, I didn't want to pause it and go all the way back and be like, wait, what did he say? But I'll probably watch it again tonight. Like, it was just that fantastic. But yeah, then farther into the breakdown of this episode, we get the face off we've pretty much been speculating this entire time, between Omni-Man and Invincible. And I love the title card as soon as, is it Ralph the robot now or just
Robbie?
Rudy.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's like, in order to take on Omni-Man, he has to be invincible. I was like, it just
covered in blood.
Literally, the entire title card is now covered in blood. And that is something I've liked as well within each episode. Like, the title card gets bloodier and bloodier. Now it's like just almost all red. But yeah, we get into the fight. And I mean, Mark's braver than most of us. I gotta say.
He does not stand a chance in this fight. He gave his strongest punch. And then Omniman was like, that's it. He just took it to the chin.
It just, for a second there, I'm not gonna lie, I thought he had him for like a little bit, like maybe for like a few seconds, because after, it's during their fighting, you see Omni-Man trying to reason with Mark, saying, like, this is ridiculous. He's like, all these people, everyone on this planet here is beneath you. And
yeah, I love how he mentions that they lived for thousands of years and that this moment in time is so small to him. Like, this lifetime he's had on Earth means nothing to him.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just
honestly, yeah, because think about how long he was actually on Earth, and to order to find a mate, and he's like, oh, he wants to extend his bloodline, and then we get Mark, but it's like it really puts into perspective. You have this being who is essentially, in a way, I guess you could say, it's a burden or a curse. I mean, a blessing or a curse, and since they live for thousands of years, like, it really just shows how short life actually is. But we kind of see the humanity side when, it's crazy. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth, but like, it's just so crazy to think how strong Omni-Man is. And it's like, yeah, like that, this is how I like how they're portraying, like, oh, what if, quote unquote, Superman was evil? Way better than Brightburn, where the crap that is. I mean, I think The Boys does a great job of it as well, but a more modern, side to it with Homelander. But it's like, I mean, this one punch, and it's like, Omni-Man punches Mark once, and he goes like halfway across the freaking globe. And it's like,
he goes through the city of Chicago.
Ah, jeez.
I saw him out my window.
Seriously, though, man, it was.
He did some damage, though. Like,
he did.
That whole scene in Chicago with the subway and the following skyscraper before that was just brutal. It was brutal because Omni-Man's pretty much just taking Mark and touring him through a murder, like a murder tour, basically. Like, hey, this is how little I care about your puny humans.
The train scene, dude. Like, oh my gosh. Insane. But it's like, Mark's also trying to save people at the same time, and he
and then the Guardians of the Globe finally decide to get off their ass and start helping.
Yeah. But it's like, even with Cecil, like, he brings in the jets, and then his mom's like, oh, like, Mark's mom's like, is this really gonna stop him? He's like, well, no. He's like, I pretty much just send a bunch of people to their funerals, but can at least stall them out. And we see Mark trying to. He's in this like crazy weird blur where it's just like, he's trying to comprehend what his father's even saying about his mother, about his friends, about the rest of and humanity.
His mom's hearing everything too.
That killed me so much. And it's like, oh, it's like, does mom's life even matter? And he's like, in the grand scheme of things, no. I was like, yeah, oh my God. But it's like, it made sense coming from him, because you have to look at it from his perspective. It's like, here's a guy who, has been, God knows how long he's already lived. And, he's telling Mark, he's like, everyone you will know will die, especially here, because of how, quote, short the human lifespan is. At least to him, it's like, it's a speck of his entire life cycle. And it's like, it may seem forever for them, but man, it is just insane. But yeah, the Guardians of the Globe started to get up their asses and, finally start to help out. But it's just, Mark's trying his best to stop his father, as inexperienced as he is. And
he's just getting destroyed. He's literally being used as a weapon to murder other humans, and he can't do anything about it.
Dude, he got thrown around like a fucking rag doll. Like, just
And then they finally get to this mountain, and Omni-Man is about to finish Mark off. He's giving him he's just giving up. He's like, I'm just gonna kill you because you keep trying to stop me.
Yeah.
And then there's a flashback to a nice baseball game when Omni-Man he saw some humanity, and he got a glimpse of what it's like to be human, and how beautiful life can be. I like how in both scenes he was missing his front 2 teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parallel. But then after he has that flashback, he kind of stops himself from murdering his son and just angrily flies off.
But like even like it was, and again, it's not Omni-Man's powers. It was the words that he said, and he's just. I seriously thought Invincible was gonna die.
It's like his words are almost as powerful as he is.
Yeah, and
they just cut through you.
Yeah, he's just like literally beating like the ever living like life and pulp out of Mark, and he's like, I'll just start over. He's like, I'll just make another kid.
I'll just wait 17 more years.
Yeah,
it's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, 17 years to him is absolutely nothing, and it's like Mark doesn't give up,
and then you hear him like pleading for his dad.
Yeah, and his dude. Oh my gosh, like his face was just so. It was like red.
We thought Beastmaster beat him up.
Seriously,
there's never been a better representation of the hero getting just destroyed I've ever seen before. Like Mark gets just the shit beat out of him like every other episode. And it makes sense because he is so new to all of this.
Yeah, he's crazy inexperienced, and he's like, you know what? He's like, I don't care how much you have taught me or how much you haven't taught me. He's like, I have to stop you because the main difference is, Mark grew up here on Earth. He understands how humanity works. He understands what life is all about, and obviously so does his mother. But his father comes from a different, culture, a different planet, just different everything. So it's like, how could his father just like completely understand? And he gives Mark, like Nolan or Omni-Man gives Mark like so many chances to kind of like think about what you're doing. Like, yeah, he does rough him up a bit, but then he gives him like multiple chances.
Yeah, there's so many intense moments. Like I loved when Mark took all that time to save the pilot, and then Omni-Man just shows up behind him. You're like, oh shit,
dude! I was like he's
you're
done.
On the edge of your seat, and then he just like
he's done.
He smushes his face off in Mark's face,
and Mark just breaks down even more. And he's like, why would you do that? And he's like,
you wasted so much time saving that life for what? For what reason?
Yeah. And you can definitely see the internal conflict with Omni-Man as well, because it's just
towards the end,
yeah, and he just he flies off into space, and we do see him cry for a bit, and
a couple tears, a few tears in space.
But it's like, yeah, there's definitely some him being on Earth has done something to him, but man, he was like to carry out the mission, like let's go. And that's pretty much the first half of this entire episode, and then we see.
Then we get a real sad montage of everyone just going through it.
That was crazy, dude.
All the feels.
Like
I don't even know what song that was, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. It's kind of like reminds me of the song of from Rick and Morty. I think it was towards the end of season 3, when Rick like almost commits suicide or whatever it was. That was a really good song. But yeah, we kind of go into the second half, and it's just Mark's been in the hospital for like 2 weeks, and we see everything with the Guardians of the Globe, trying to help out, doing damage control with that, and it's just
even the Mark Hamill character is just like devastated.
Yeah, the alien. Wait. Oh no. Yeah, the Taylor. Yeah. And you just see Mark's mother just break down halfway through this episode. She's trying to keep it together, and
multiple times. Yeah. When she was in bed and Mark asked for takeout, she just lost it.
It's like she's like this. Just anything that.
How do you even go on after that?
Yeah.
Like the majority of your life has been spent with this person building a life together, and then he just throws it all away and he doesn't care about you at all.
Yeah. And how
do you go on?
That's true. It's like, that's humanity setting in. And you know, like to her, like if you know, it was a lifetime. To him, it's just you know, like 17 years. That's nothing to him, and the way that he perceives time is it's kind of incomprehensible to humans. But you know, we see Cecil trying to help out the best that he can, and all of Mark's friends are watching. And I bet you Amber feels pretty stupid now, huh? I was like, yeah, fuck you, Amber. Fuck no. But yeah, she shows up on his doorstep, and I guess
I did not expect that.
I did not expect that either. I still think that Adam Eve and Invincible would be a better pair. But I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see. But it was just
I'll be Team Amber.
Ugh, Amber.
She redeemed herself.
No, she did not.
She showed up first when nobody else did. She was the first one there.
Oh, yeah, because she felt super bad about what she said and just kind of blew him off when he told her this big secret, like, hey, I'm a superhero, you know, like I'm risking my life to save others. And she's like, yeah, I know you're a superhero, like whatever, like F you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, wow. Like, okay, that's how it's gonna be. It's like, all right. But I am kind of surprised that he took her back like so suddenly. I mean, we knew that he cared about her, but like after that, I mean, not saying that it wasn't his fault, because like, but it's like, should he have told her sooner, or you know, of what was going on? Because like, I mean, that's his business. But I don't know. I was a little surprised that he took her back, but I mean, he is a 17-year-old kid, so it's like, you know, what else does he have to do? Finish high school?
That's literally what he has to do. Yeah. I did call an Alan the Alien Return. They called that one last week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. That
I mean, it wasn't that hard to guess, but
yeah. Well,
it was nice to see Seth Rogen return and give Mark some news.
He just flies in. He's like, "There's a fish on your planet." Oh yeah. He's like, yeah.
What would they call it? It was like the space
something. I can't remember. But I really like now. This is it. Everything that's been setting up. You know,
more world building.
Yeah, more world building. We have Cecil saying, "Hey, you know, we're going to need a replacement because your father just took off, left Earth, and apparently they said
we get a montage of all the villains from this season.
Dude, that's going to be awesome because like
the mountain guy and then
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast, they're all still hanging around, waiting for Mark.
He's like, "Oh, what are you going to do in the meantime?" Oh, probably finish high school. Oh, okay.
What's high school?
I love Seth Rogen's character. It's so great. But yeah, it's, you know, Cecil comes in and he's saying, "Hey, like we do need a replacement," and Mark's not entirely sure.
That weird technology they had, that because we all drink tap water, we can't see the frequency of light.
Yeah, it's like low key kind of true. Not like 100% true, but like something like that would happen.
Somebody's going to believe it after this episode.
Probably.
It's going to be a conspiracy.
Man. But yeah, and it's like, you know, Cecil's asking Mark this huge task after everything that just happened. And it's like, and it is true, you know, words do cut deeper than, you know, any wound, because when we see Invincible, you know, he takes a few punches here or there, but it's like, you know, the entire conversation, Cecil's like, yeah, he's like, oh, like your mother heard everything. And it's like, why would she not? Like, she needs to know. Like, you don't need to keep her in the dark about this any more than what she's already been. So it's like, man, that just kills me. He's just like, he's literally, Omniman's just like, you know, like, after the human race, he's like, you know, they're inferior, you know, they can't survive on their own, they're fragile. And, you know, it's all about the Viltrumites trying to, you know, expand and, you know, take over to, quote unquote, in their eyes, may seem to make their civilization better. But it's like, it's just the lack of humanity within Omni-Man that's just, I mean, it's there a little bit, like obvious for his family, more so his son, I think, more his his pet wife, whatever that was.
That was so brutal.
Oh my god! I'm like, dude, just that was just like slap in the face.
Just savage.
Oh, that was crazy. But yeah, towards the end, like it kind of the second part of the episode, it's very like it does set up everything. There's just so much going on, and
we just need that renewal news. We haven't gotten it officially yet.
Yeah, not yet. But now since Amber, Eve, and his best friend, they all know who Omni-Man is and who Mark is, and Adam's like, Eve's like, oh, I'm Adam Eve. They're like, oh, the girl who can make duplicates of herself? It's like, no, that's duplicate.
And we also saw that the Immortal is still alive. Maybe he really is immortal.
No, yeah, he's alive, and we see the new Guardians of the Globe actually fighting like a team, training like a team. So I don't know.
I mean, they're still going to get destroyed by Omni-Man, but it's cute. It's cute to see them work together, I guess.
Do you think Mark will join the Guardians of the Globe?
Probably.
A little Teen Titan action going on.
I still don't trust Rudy. Rudy's a little bitch.
He's so in a way,
there's something off.
Something's off, but like in a way, it was like a romantic gesture to be with Monster Girl. She's like, oh, like now we're the same.
Weird to me.
We're the same age. It's like, yeah, until she like turns into a baby eventually. Like, it's literally like that's
dating Benjamin Button.
Yeah, it literally sucks. I think it was every single time she uses her powers, she's a week younger than what she was. But it kind of, I guess, works in reverse because it's like if she hasn't used her power within a week, then she gains that week back.
Does she?
I don't know. I'm assuming, like, wouldn't that make sense though? It's like, I mean, it's like she's getting older and younger at the same time. Because obviously, growing older. So it's like, let's say if she doesn't, transform into like her monster form for like a month, I guess it would stand to reason that, she will be 4 weeks older by that point. And then it's like, if she uses it, boom, it knocks it back a week. So it's like, well, I don't know. That's very interesting though. Like, I want to know more about that. Like, I definitely need to start reading the comics or something. But if anyone out there knows, anyone who's watching or even listening on the podcast, let us know if you are a big Invincible comic book fan. How do Monster Girl's powers actually work? Because I guess
I have no interest in reading the comics because it's so much more enjoyable being surprised at the show for me.
That is true.
Anything that's coming.
I mean, I do kind of want to check them out, just like to check out something that isn't DC or Marvel. But it's just like it's just been such a great ride, and like we said, it ends on a high note,
as high as it can be, knowing what is lurking in the outer reaches of space.
Because with season 2,
it's like even at the end, Alan the Alien mentions that it could be other Vulturemites that come after Earth. It might not even be Omni-Man.
Yeah, he was also.
Then they're in real trouble because he can't connect to him emotionally at all. They'll just get destroyed.
That is true. Unless there's like an Earth 2 out there or something, whatever. But
Uarth, which Alan was supposed to go to.
Who?
Alan was supposed to go there initially.
Yeah, Uarth. God, that was so funny. He's like, nah, bro, this is Earth. Oh my God. So I'm very excited for season 2 whenever they greenlight it. I was talking to Jacob about it earlier, and he was a little bit worried that if season 2 will take a dip because how much of Omni-Man will we see in season 2? Is it going to be more of just Invincible, him essentially his real training period, not the training period that his dad gave him, but he said,
literal training period.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this is where your true education begins. I was like, oh, I'm like, okay, I'll join you. I'll join you. Probably
I
would be
kind
me.
of like that though, because that means every episode you'll be just in the back of your head, you're gonna have Omni-Man in your mind. Like he could
Yeah,
just show up at any minute, no matter what's happening.
that is very true because as we saw the montage of all these different um villains that they've kind of set up throughout season one, like very, very just beautifully. It's gonna be, I think season two is gonna be more like the classic, fighting certain supervillains or whatever. Battle Beast will probably be like his true test to know if he's like actually ready to face his father.
That's his first boss battle.
I'm coming for you. Yeah, oh man, it has been a great and wild ride. But I know I've been yapping on here myself. I'll turn it over to you. Is there anything you wanted to touch on that we haven't covered yet already?
I think we got most of it.
Most? You got something up your sleeve there? No.
I don't know.
Oh man. Yeah,
I was kind of low key like thinking that the mom was going to have some kind of secret powers at the end. like when she showed up at the tailor's place, I was like, And then he was creating someone's costume. Like they showed that in the montage that he was like.
Do you think it's a new Invincible costume?
It could be that. I don't know. Maybe the mom has some secrets up her sleeve.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, how would that feel though? You know what I mean? Like if she's like, "Oh, I have superpowers too. We're one big super fam." Maybe, or maybe she has some kind of dark secret, or she's been, talking to maybe Damien Darkblood, because it's like, I just don't know. It was just I was freaking out this entire episode while watching it, and I had not been that glued to my seat in a long time. Like this is probably some of the best damn television I've seen. It's probably maybe since Game of Thrones. Just obviously two different type of mediums, but it was just like, wow, like I want to go through this adventure again to see if I missed anything. I just want to experience it all as binging. It's just, I don't know, like Mark is now becoming a new hero in his own way while Omni-Man is away. So it kind of gives him that breathing room. But the threat has been removed for now. The main big baddie. So this does give room.
And then there's so much more left.
Yeah.
That's what's so good about it. They set up so many other nemesis for Mark.
Yeah.
He's got Battle Beast, Titan.
The Blue Twins, they're definitely going to get out at some point.
Ezra Miller still hanging around working for the government.
How do you compare this to the very first episode of Invincible?
As far as what?
It's just in general. Like I was talking to Jacob about it, and he said episode 1 was incredible, but he thought this episode made it look like Weenie Hut Jr.
I mean, I still might think episode 1 is a little stronger for me because it's what made me want to watch everything else so much. It's what hooked me in the first place.
Yeah, I was actually
if I'm gonna recommend it to anybody, I'll just tell them to watch the first episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If you're not hooked by the end, I'll give you $5. Like that ending has to intrigue you.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Devin will give you $5. We'll Venmo you $5
as long as you subscribe and follow and let us know.
It's like, well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, oh man, I'm trying to think. So you would say that episode 1 was your favorite overall?
I think so.
Man, I'm trying to.
Just because it was so surprising.
Yeah.
Not knowing what to expect from the show, and then it just starts off so well.
It does subvert your expectations because, man, he just goes to town on the Guardians of the Globe.
And then the Titan episode is also just so good. Those are obviously the top three.
Yeah. Well, even last week's, I thought it was just so, just the buildup has been so just, it's been fucking great. Like I'm trying to actually think if there was any issues that I had with this episode. Because it definitely felt like two parts put into one, but it was woven together so well. It's like that's how you do a season finale. Falcon Winter Soldier, take notes, please. Like, I'm sorry.
You really hated that show, huh?
I didn't hate it. It's just I gave it a C+ overall. Like, I thought it was good, not great, but I just think people are overhyping it just a little bit. I mean, I love the characters. They may not be like my favorite Marvel characters, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, and there was a plot line that was removed. And they're like, oh, it's not because of the pandemic. Oh, yeah, okay. Because Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to debut first over WandaVision. And it's like, you're telling me that wasn't because of the pandemic? I highly, highly doubt it, because so many things were affected. A lot of people are not believing what he said. He said there was a storyline that was cut. I guess it was from a podcast interview, and everyone's like, some people are saying, I think it's one with the power broker. It's like I just don't care about Sharon Carter that much to be like, oh, she's the power broker. It's like we kind of figured that out. It's just there was no real experimentation with that show like we had with WandaVision, like we had with this show, Invincible. And it's just, I mean, I may come off saying that I don't like it. It's just, like I said, it was good, not great. Like, I mean, I like the parts with, Bucky and Sam, but the whole Carly thing threw it out the window. John Walker threw that out the window. Oh, John and Bucky are best friends. Anyway,
what is this episode again?
Huh?
What episode are we doing again?
Oh my gosh! Sorry. Anywho, yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we just get out of here for the rest of the evening? Let everyone enjoy their weekends.
I think we just gotta.
Oh yeah, we gotta rate it
to Amazon Prime and tell them, make them do a season 2. We need a renewal.
Yeah, and of course, I totally forgot to mention this during the beginning, but thank you so much to Amazon Prime, or Amazon Studios, I should say, for allowing us to watch and review this series early, allowing us to connect with our community and the fandom that is ever growing, that is Invincible. So we do thank Amazon for allowing us to watch these early, because we are recording this on a Wednesday and this will be out on Friday by midnight, not midnight, noon on Friday. So thank you, seriously, thank you, Amazon, for just allowing us and building a new fandom within everything within the good nerd word. So it's amazing. We wouldn't be doing this stuff without them, and of course our wonderful listeners out there. So we are very, very close to 10,000 downloads on this overall podcast wise. So everyone, just keep listening. Give us your feedback here on YouTube. Give us your feedback on Twitter or Instagram. You can follow us over there at Film Optics. That is Optics with an X, of course. I kind of butchered that when I made this name. I was like, man, but it's too late to change it now. But it is what it is. So let's just get into our review. Let's do our score for the episode and then overall for season 1. So let's do our scores for episode 8, titled "Where I Really Come From." I'm gonna give this an A+. Like, this episode just really, it sets up so much for the future of this series, and it really is, like, I was tearing up just a little bit, man. I'm not gonna lie, because it's, the writing was just so well done. The animation is always amazing. There's always little room for improvement here or there, but it is season 1 after all. But it blew me away. It really, really did. Like I said earlier, this is some of the best damn television I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna agree with you as far as the finale. Go with an A+ as well. I mean, can't really beat this as far as finale goes. And then for the overall season, I'm gonna go with an A-. I think there were 2 weaker episodes for me. The space adventure and the Ezra Miller episode.
Oh, come on. That was great.
And there were times where the animation was a little off. Like it kind of looks like Scooby-Doo at points.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's, at first I wasn't sure how I liked the animation. And then I kind of it just grew on me. It's like watching old school Dragon Ball. Like I know a lot of my friends who are like anime fans, they won't watch like old school, like original Dragon Ball, because they don't like the art style. And it's like, I love it, but that's just me. For the overall season, for season 1, I'm going to give it a solid A. I do agree that at least the weakest episode for me was the star, the outer space. I mean, like, it was nice, but it wasn't, well, it wasn't the best episode of the bunch. But so I'll definitely give a solid A for season 1 overall. That would be a nice little a 94. And for the A+, I'm going to give that, shit, man, I'll get like a 97 for sure, like A+ overall, and then a solid A for the or A+ for episode 8, and then a solid A, what I say, 94 for season 1. So, man, it's just, I'm gonna miss the show so much. But we got the Bad Batch, looking forward to that, and we also have Loki coming up. Figure out what to do for next week. Might definitely go back to do a nice little news segment. I know, I kind of miss it. I'm not gonna lie. Like, watching both shows really took a lot out of me with the whole editing and promoting and whatnot. But that's just the name of the game. It's all good in the hood. So I believe that will be our next thing that we review weekly. I believe we will be getting back into the swing of things, talking about a few news stories here or there, and then getting into the Bad Batch review, because that is the next big thing coming up. I don't know how long that's supposed to run for. So that's coming out in May. We also have Army of the Dead and Woman of the Window that we know of. We're trying to space it out a little bit. Feel like we're pumping out so much stuff. It's crazy, but I don't know. I feel like we can finally take a breath, Devin. We can finally breathe for just a little bit. Man, it is just, because I feel like we really haven't had a lot of time to breathe between WandaVision, and then we had a week off. During that week off, Raid and the Last Dragon came out. And then just went straight into Falcon Winter Soldier, and here comes Invincible. So, man, it's been a crazy, crazy ride. But yeah, do keep a look for all those, and make sure to check out our new segment titled Music City Verified. It is audio only. I forgot to mention that last time. It is not uploaded onto YouTube, so you do have to go onto a podcast service to listen to it, where I interview Kayla Woodson. She is an up-and-coming Nashville artist, country artist here in town. She has a new single out titled Watch Me. So she's available on Spotify and Apple Music. So make sure to go check out her new single, and make sure to go check out the interview I did with her as well. There's a nice little intro piece. There's a nice little intro piece with her on the Music City Drive-In website. That is musiccitydrivein.com. And I think by the time this comes out, I think we get a little bit of the Ratchet and Clank state of play. So I might write something for that. But anyway, let's get out of here. Oh, man. And that's the wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other shows over on musiccitydriving.com and subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
And make sure to leave a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts to help us with placement. You guys have a wonderful weekend.